Okay, I'm feeling slightly better now.
And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man.
That's right.
Of the seed of man.
The word seed is sperm, and sperm comes through having sex.
It's shut out of your father's rod.
Right.
Put it in layman terms, in his penis.
That's right.
That means a man put his penis in a woman and bust off in it.
Then the angel said to him, "Take out the entrails of this fish, and lay up his heart and his gall and his liver for thee. For these are necessary for useful medicines."
The rest of the chapters of the book of Esther,
Go ahead.
which are found neither in the Hebrew nor in the Chaldee.
Greetings, fellow worker slaves, podcasting at 128 kilobits from the Fortress of Squalitude, not far from the Redneck Mecca. This is the Atheist in the Trailer Park podcast. I'm your host, Tucker. Professor Fuzznuts is in my face once again, and apparently the little shit has figured out the change in the tone of my voice when I start recording. Because until I started recording, he was contentedly bathing himself in the kitchen, and then as soon as I started recording, his little ass had to tromp on over here. Yes, you did, you shithead. You little shitty baby. Yes, it's a podcast hosted by a guy and his cat. Get over it. My apologies for not getting this episode out sooner, and for how bad my message was that the episode was going to be late. I tried like 10 times to record that message, and I finally just took the last one I recorded and pushed it out without even listening to it. I hope I didn't burp too many times. A quick note before I get to Joe Kendick and I reading from 2nd Esdras. Those of you who liked Chris from episode 109 will be happy to know that he has finally launched the Podunk Polymath podcast. I'll have a link to the first episode in the show notes. I'll also have a link to my GoFundMe page if you want to help me get a car, as well as to the Unbuckling the Bible Belt podcast. And I will, at some point this week, be pushing out a slightly improved version of one of my earlier episodes. It'll be clearly marked in the feed as a repeat, and those of you subscribing via Patreon won't be dinged for that. I'm just doing it because it's the easiest way to get the back catalog on YouTube, and so that folks who've not gone back and listened to the show from the beginning can get an idea of just how awful things were way back when. And a quick reminder that Joe and I tried a bunch of times before we were able to get this recorded. So, in the version you're hearing, the side conversations about things in the beginning are rather thin, because by the time we were able to get a complete reading of the chapters recorded, we'd read the first 20 verses of the first chapter at least 5 times. We did have some interesting comments, but I'm not about to try to edit that mess together with the rest of what we recorded. I will, however, be releasing it as part of a future Patreon-only episode, so if you want to hear us talking about how this book reminds us of Frank Miller's 300, you'll have to become a Patreon subscriber. And now, on to Joe and I reading from 2nd Esdras. And this is the confusing mass known as 2nd Esdras.
Who's that named after? I mean, Ezra, obviously. But.
Yeah, but who he was, supposedly, other than some kind of prophet, I have no clue. I know almost nothing about the Apocrypha.
Huh. But is that the only place where he's mentioned?
I believe so.
Huh.
I haven't ran across anything, elsewhere talking about him. Although, there is this handy-dandy thing that's called the interwebs.
What? Never heard of it.
We could probably check.
Is it like the Google machine?
Yeah. Okay, it was supposedly... Well, Ezra the Scribe is actually what his real name. Wow, this doesn't make any... Okay. He, this is what Wikipedia says about him. According to the Hebrew Bible, he returned from the Babylonian exile and reintroduced the Torah in Jerusalem. Now, the problem with this, he describes events that would have had to have happened long after he would have died.
Wait, are you trying to tell me that the Bible's not accurate? Or the Apocrypha, for that matter?
Yeah, because...
What? Crazy.
Like, it mentions 3 kings of Babylon who all sent the Jews back. And, each one of them supposedly did it in the beginning of their reign. And there was, some of them reigned for 30 years. So, and of course you're wondering, well, why, if the first guy let them go, then how could the second guy have let them go, let alone the third guy? And then it kind of backtracks later on and says, well, the first guy actually didn't let them go. He said they could go, but they didn't go then, and they really left under the second guy. Well, okay, that's fine, but that was at the beginning of his reign, and he reigned for 30 fucking years before Xerxes, who's the third guy, let everybody go. And it's well, why are these people now going if they were all let go, 30 or 60 years before? And, each time they leave, they're allowed to loot the kingdom of Babylon before they go.
Yeah, it's not really logically consistent.
No.
I wish I could write my own book that told stupid history.
And get paid lots of money for it.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. That's, what's his face? I can't even think of his name right now. I've been blanking the fuck out on your damn podcast. My brain is not working. Harry Turtledove is where I was going with that, but brain slow. Alternative history.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's do something that makes sense.
Yeah. The second book of the prophet Esdras, the son of Sarius, the son of Azarias, the son of Helchias, the son of Sadamias, the son of Sadok, the son of Achitob, the son of Achias, the son of Phinehas, the son of Heli, the son of Amarius, the son of Azai, the son of Merimoth, the son of... And then there's this weird transposition. And he spake unto thee of Boreath, the son of Abisi, the son of Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, of the tribe of Levi, which was captive in the land of the Medes in the reign of Xerxes, king of the Persians.
At least there's no begats.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Go thy way, and show my people their sinful deeds, and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me, and they may tell their children's children. Because the sins of the fathers are increased in them, for they have forgotten me, and have offered unto strange gods.
Am I not even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage? But they have provoked unto me wrath, and despised my counsels. Pull thou off then the hair of thy head, and cast all evil upon them. For they have not been obedient unto my law, but it is a rebellious people. How long shall I forbear them, into whom I have done so much good?
Many kings have I destroyed for their sakes. Pharaoh with his servants and all his power have I smitten down. All the nations have I destroyed before them, and in the east I have scattered the people of 2 provinces, even of Tyrus and Sidon, and have slain all their enemies. Speak thou therefore unto them, saying, Thus saith the Lord. So basically, these are just a bunch of ungrateful fucks that aren't appreciative of what he's done for them, and he's whining about it because that's what deities do.
Yes, and these people have stopped believing in him, even though some of them had to have been eyewitnesses or relatives of eyewitnesses who actually saw his miracles.
Well, to quote, I think it was Dr. Hackenbush, are you going to believe me or your own eyes?
I led you through the sea, and in the beginning gave you a large and safe passage. I gave you Moses for a leader and Aaron for a priest. I gave you light and a pillar of fire, and great wonders have I done among you. Yet have ye forgotten me, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Almighty Lord, the quails were as a token to you. I gave you tents for your safeguard. Nevertheless, ye murmured there.
And triumph not in my name for the destruction of your enemies, but ever to this day do ye yet murmur. Where are the benefits that I have done for you? When you were hungry and thirsty in the wilderness, did ye not cry unto me, saying, Why hast thou brought us into the wilderness to kill us? It had been better for us to have served the Egyptians than to die in this wilderness. Fuck that. It's better to live on your feet than die on your knees. Reverse that. Die on your feet and live on your knees.
No, that's what the old guy in Catch-22 says. It's better to live on your feet than die on your knees. And right. He was known for welcoming all the conquering armies as liberators. Okay.
I don't know. It all works in principle, but the second, priorities change when you have a wife and kids and shit.
Yeah.
It's easy to say that shit when you're single.
That's true. Then I had pity upon your mornings and gave you manna to eat, which is bug shit. So ye did eat angels' bread. Bug shit. When ye were thirsty, did I not cleave the rock, and waters flowed out to your fill? For the heat I covered you with the leaves of trees. I don't think there were leaves of trees in the desert. Yeah,
I was just thinking that. And they spent 40 years in the goddamn desert. That's a 2-week walk.
Yeah.
Anywhere else in the world, it's a 2-week walk.
And the figures given for the amount of people leaving the front line would have reached Egypt before the back of the line the front line would have each reached Israel before the back of the line had even left Egypt.
Oh yeah, because it was what, 1 million people or something?
Something like that. Fuzznuts is trying to drink my water.
Fuzznuts.
Got your own water, buddy.
Doesn't have Tucker Stank on it though.
No, I know. And he doesn't want me to put him down, but he's going to have to get down. There we go. And he runs off to drink out of the toilet.
Well, don't let him come back to drink.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I divided among you a fruitful land. I cast out the Canaanites, the Pezerites, and the Philistines before you. What shall I yet do more for you, saith the Lord?
Thus saith the Almighty Lord, when you were in the wilderness in the river of the Amorites, being athirst and blaspheming my name, I gave you not fire for your blasphemies, but cast a tree in the water and made the river sweet, because that's how that happens.
Yeah.
What shall I do unto thee, O Jacob? Thou, Judah, wouldest not obey me. I will turn me into other nations, and unto those will I give my name, and they may keep my statutes. I guess social media. God was all about social media back in the day.
Seeing ye have forsaken me, I will forsake you also. When ye desire me to be gracious unto you, I shall have no mercy upon you.
Wah! Wah!
Whensoever ye shall call upon me, I will not hear you, for ye have defiled your hands with blood, and your feet are swift to commit manslaughter.
Oh, fuck him. He just slaughtered... Oh, man, hypocritical motherfucker. That's where your morals come from, guys. Yeah. That guy.
Ye have not, as it were, forsaken me, but your own selves, saith the Lord.
He's got a point there. It's not my fault you guys are assholes. I mean, I made you assholes, and I showed you terrible things that I would do to people that you would follow that example, but it's your fault.
And this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you.
Yeah. Don't do as I say, not as I do. Thus saith the Almighty Lord, have I not prayed you as a father his sons, as a mother her daughters, and a nurse her young babes, that ye would be my people, and I should be your God, that ye would be my children, and I should be your father? I gathered you together, as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, but now what shall I do unto you? I will cast you out from my face. Get the fuck out of my face!
Well, we couldn't see. We're not allowed to look at you anyways. We'll be turned to stone. Or we'll explode or something.
I know I get hard when I see him.
When ye offer unto me, I will turn my face from you. For your solemn feast days, your new moons, and your circumcisions have I forsaken.
Oh, that sucks. So you get the tip of your dick cut off and he doesn't even appreciate it. Yeah. Fuck that.
I sent unto you my servants the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, and torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, saith the Lord. So does that mean he's going to chop their hands off?
I guess.
Thus saith the Almighty Lord, your house is desolate. I will cast you out as the wind doth stubble.
I didn't realize stubble was a verb.
I didn't either.
I'm learning things today. And your children shall not be fruitful, for they have despised my commandment and done the thing that is an evil before me. So the kids are even fucked now. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Classy, God. Classy. Your houses will I give to a people that shall come. That's how that works. Which, not having heard of me yet, shall believe me. So they're going to believe you immediately without having heard of you, even though your people, which have supposedly seen you do all these miracles, still don't believe in you because you're full of shit. So, to whom have showed no signs, yet they shall do it that I commanded them. They have seen no prophets, yet they shall call their sins to remembrance and acknowledge them. Doesn't make sense. That's completely blind faith. That's so blind faith.
Well, that almost sounds like it's prophesizing Islam.
Oh, kinda. Yeah.
I take to witness the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness. And though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the thing that I say. Unto whom I will give for leaders Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Oseas, Amos, Micaias, Joel, Abadas, and Jonas, Nahum, and Habakkuk, Sophonius, Habakkuk,
yeah.
Sophonius, Aggeus, Zachary, and Malachi, which is called also an angel of the Lord.
So I got a question. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
The letter J wasn't invented until the 15th century. So is that Yoel and Jonas and Jacob? I know Jacob is a Jewish name. Jacob.
Yeah. I'm sure it's there's a couple other letters that weren't invented then either. I think was it W or something like that wasn't invented, and if these were written when they were supposed to have been written, then there would not have been any vowels or any spaces in the words.
Oh yeah, because Yahweh's what WH or YHWH. So I guess there was a W.
Yeah. Well, I've also seen, or maybe it was the V.
Oh, VH. It was the VH. It was YHVH, wasn't it? Yahweh YHVH.
I think so.
Yeah. Huh.
And but yeah, apparently the really old Hebrew texts have like a key to read, for you to read them, and certain sects believe you shouldn't write the key down and just transmit it via oral tradition, while others said no, you write it down at the top of the document so people know how to read it. And they just it's just fucking weird shit that people try to have to figure out. Like in one of his books in the Valis trilogy, Philip K. Dick, who near the end of his life got obsessed with this kind of stuff, hypothesizes that there's this that there'll be this group of Jews that take the Torah, the oldest copies of the Torah, and convert them into holograms, and has a computer continually cycling over everything, trying to figure out exactly how it's supposed to be written. Like when they figure out like a line, something in the universe unlocks and certain events happen.
Oh, that's an interesting concept.
Yeah, I don't remember which one of the Valis books it was in, because there's 3 of them that are they're a trilogy, but they're not really they're not sequels of one another. They're like different takes on a similar concept.
And that's such a dick move.
Yeah.
That joke's so dumb. I like it.
Okay, so that's the end of that chapter. I guess because it's really weirdly coded in this thing, because the first one was 4 Ezra 1, and this one is 4 Ezra 2, even though this is the second book of Esdras. So
I don't even know what's going on right now, man.
yeah, you and me both. All right, you want to start?
I do. Thus saith the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage, and I gave them my commandments by manservants, the prophets, whom they would not hear, but despised my counsels. The mother that bare them saith unto them, Go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken. I brought you up with gladness, but with sorrow and heaviness have I lost you. For ye have sinned before the Lord your God, and done the thing that is evil before him. That makes sense.
Yeah. Although, they kind of did hear Moses, because they followed him.
Yeah.
But what shall I now do unto you? I am a widow and forsaken. Go your way, O my children, and ask mercy of the Lord. Wait. So he's telling them to get the fuck away from him, but go ahead and beg him for mercy.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
As for me, O Father, I call upon thee for a witness over the mother of these children, which would not keep my covenant, that thou bring them to confusion, and their mother to a spoil, that there may be no offspring of them. Man, I hate it when, mom gets past her expiration date and spoils.
Yeah, that's the worst. Spoiled moms are the worst. They smell funny. All right. I totally just got lost. Where are we on? 6?
7 is
7. Let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. Oh, sweet. Let their names be put out of the earth, for they have despised my covenant. Woe be unto thee, Assur! Thou hidest the unrighteous in thee. O thou wicked people, remember what I did unto Sodom and Gomorrah, whose land lieth in clods of pitch and heaps of ashes. Even so also will I do unto them that hear me not, saith the Almighty Lord. This guy's like bipolar.
Yeah. Well, what gets me is you notice that everybody hates sodomy, but you can Gomorrah all you want.
Yeah. Gomorrah less you can.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. What was Gomorrah's crime? I mean, sodomy, obviously, that was their sin was
being cruel to visitors from out of town.
Yeah, which is, the worst.
Yeah, I guess it was because Gomorrah was next door, and, God didn't have precision nukes.
Apparently not. Well, neighbors suck too. We get that.
Thus saith the Lord unto Esdras, Tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given unto Israel. Wait. Who's his people? I thought he was just telling his people to fuck off. And now he's saying, I'm giving you Jerusalem?
See, that's the thing. It doesn't make any sense. So either...
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, either God is mentally disturbed, which is, as a non-existent character, he obviously is. Or his people don't know what the hell is going on, which is, also probably true as hell.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think that living in this time would have... You would have been like a roach running from somebody with a newspaper, constantly whacking everywhere around you.
Constantly whacking everywhere around you. I like that.
Their glory also will I take unto me, and give these the everlasting tabernacles which I had prepared for them. They shall have the tree of life for an ointment of sweet savor. They shall neither labor nor be weary.
Go and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. Take heaven and earth to witness, for I have broken the evil in pieces and created the good. For I live, saith the Lord. Mother, embrace thy children and bring them up with gladness. Oh, sorry. Make their feet as fast as a pillar, for I have chosen thee, saith the Lord. Like a pillar of salt, maybe?
I don't understand this. He just told them, fuck off, go away, I'm going to give everything you've got to somebody else, and now he's saying, hey, I love you guys, you're getting it all.
I'm telling you, he's like fucking bipolar. He's back on his meds or something.
Yeah.
I suck. And those that be dead, y'all dead motherfuckers, raise up. He's like zombies. And those that be dead will I raise up again from their places and bring them out of their graves, for I have known my name in Israel. Wow.
Yeah.
That doesn't... This guy's fucking whack job, dude.
I'm telling you. Fear not, thou mother of the children, for I have chosen thee, saith the Lord. For thy help will I send my servants, Esau and Jeremy, after whose counsel I have sanctified and prepared for thee 12 trees laden with diverse fruits, and as many fountains flowing with milk and honey, and 7 mighty mountains. Well, that sounds like Rome. Whereupon there grow roses and lilies, whereby I will fill thy children with joy.
I know that, dude. Do right to the widow, judge for the fatherless, give to the poor, defend the orphan, clothe the naked. Whoa.
This guy's un-American.
No shit. Heal the broken and the weak. Laugh not a lame man to scorn. Defend the maimed, and let the blind man come into sight of my clearness. I just said clearness. Keep the old and young within thy walls. So that's some Sermon on the Mount kind of shit right there.
Yeah.
So between this Apocrypha and, 1,000 years until Jesus shows up? Or whatever, 300 years? None of that happened, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Wheresoever thou findest the dead, take them and bury them, and I will give thee the first place in my resurrection. Ooh, so...
It's hot.
Abide still, O my people, and take thy rest, for thy quietness still come.
That means no noise during sex, I think.
Yeah. But I like it when she's a screamer.
It's got its moments, but it's really hard to be quiet.
Yeah, that's true.
Be stealthy.
Yeah. Nourish thy children, O thou good nurse. Establish their feet. Is it you kind of stab it? but not.
I'm not full stab, just a little stablish.
Yeah.
As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among my number. So basically, they're slaves for life. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's what we like. Yeah. Go morality. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance.
Boy, there's nothing worse when you're having a really shitty day and somebody else is running around dancing and singing at the top of their lungs about how great their life is.
That happens every day. So I disagree. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. Yeah, I disagree with that.
Well, and again, this is contradicting his earlier thing that, you're all... Fuck you, you're all gone away. My hands shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. Well, that's awfully nice of you. Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee, saith the Lord. You going to do something about that whole painful childbirth thing, or are they still going to have to suffer with that?
Well...
Remember thy children that sleep, for I shall bring them out of the sides of the earth, and show mercy unto them, for I am merciful, saith the Lord Almighty.
So I'm guessing they're saying miscarriages?
Got me.
Sleep has got to be, death.
Yeah.
Bringing them out of the sides of the earth. Embrace thy children until I come. So the Catholic Church was right. God damn it. Embrace thy children until I come, and show mercy unto them. That's just a bad pause. Embrace thy children until I come and show mercy unto them. For my wells run over, and my grace shall not fail. I, Esdras, received a charge of the Lord upon the Mount Oreb, that I should go into Israel, but when I came unto them, they set me at naught, and despised the commandment of the Lord.
Maybe they just thought you were some crazy hermit coming down from the mountain.
Yeah, you look like Obi-Wan Kenobi, motherfucker. No, sorry.
And therefore... what were you going to say?
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, what's the difference between the ramblings of someone who's been in the desert and lost their fucking mind, or God? Because obviously you can't tell the difference just based on the fact that he keeps going back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah. That's true. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, look for your shepherd, he shall give you everlasting rest, for he is nigh at hand, that shall come in the end of the world. Well, that's an awfully interesting definition of nigh, considering it's been a couple of thousand years since this was supposedly written. Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore.
Flee this... Oh, is that you? I don't know.
Yeah, it's me.
Go ahead.
Flee the shadow of this world. Receive the joyfulness of your glory. I testify my Savior openly.
Oh, receive the gift that is given to you, and be glad, giving thanks unto him that hath led you to the heavenly kingdom. Arise up and stand at the Department of Redundancy Department.
Yeah.
Behold the number of those that be sealed in the feast of the Lord. Eat me. Which are departed from the shadow of the world, and have received glorious garments of the Lord.
Take thy number, O Sion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of the Lord. Wait, so take the good people and lock them up?
They'll lock them up in heaven, maybe?
Got me.
Sure.
The number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Lord, that thy people, which have been called from the beginning, may be hallowed. I, Esdras, saw upon the mount of Sion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs.
So who the fuck are these other people, then?
You got me. I mean, you know, one moment it sounds like he's talking about somebody other than the Jews, and the next moment it sounds like he's talking about the Jews, and then he flops back and forth.
You know what it is? Like, I've got this girlfriend in Canada. You know? Yeah. I mean, she's really hot, but she doesn't live here, so... Yeah. That's exactly what that sounds like.
Yeah.
And in the midst of them there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest. And upon every one of their heads he set crowns, as was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So he marveled at his creation. That's pretty cool. Well, I guess Esdras talking now.
Yeah.
So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of God. Now they are crowned to receive palms.
They're zombies.
Essentially.
They're dead people.
That's why you have to shoot them in the head, because they're crowned. You have to ruin the crown.
Yeah. Then I said unto the angel, What young person is that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of God, whom they have confessed in the world. Then I began greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
So Jesus is really tall, then. Jesus is Manute Bol? Is that?
I guess. Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way, and tell my people what manner of things, and how great wonders of the Lord thy God thou hast seen.
This is ridiculous, man.
Yeah, well, you know, it's like when I was reading the Book of Mormon, and they kept, you know, going through, supposedly 400 or whatever, however many years before Jesus was born, and everybody's talking about, well, the Son of God is coming, and his name is Jesus Christ, and all I could think is, I'm the kind of smartass that if I lived in that time and somebody kept telling me, hey, the Son of God is coming, his name is going to be Jesus Christ, as soon as I had a son, I'd name him Jesus Christ just to fuck with people.
Oh, totally. Totally. Well, you're trying to prove he's not.
Yeah.
Prove he's not. He's supposed to be Emmanuel anyway, right? Wasn't the son's name supposed to be Emmanuel, which is what? That means something.
It's what they installed in cars before the automatic transmission.
It's Emmanuel. You drive it, but you have to use the clutch. Smart ass. All right, let's go into 4 Ezra.3, whatever the fuck that means. In the 30th year after the ruin of the city, I was in Babylon, and lay troubled upon my bed, and my thoughts came up over my heart. For I saw the desolation of Sion, and the wealth of them that dwelt at Babylon. And my spirit was sore moved. So then I began to speak words full of fear to the Most High, and said...
Okay, now, this would date this, if you believe that it was written when it was supposedly written, because the Jews were in the Babylonian captivity, I think 50 years, maybe longer than that, but this would, you know, you have to assume he's speaking like he was an adult, you know, so let's say he was 20 in the 30th year. That would mean he was at least 40 when he wrote this, and he makes references to kings who, you know, wouldn't rule for another 60 years after the end of the Babylonian captivity, so that would make him at least 80 when this thing was written, probably older, which is kind of uncommon in that period of time.
Well, no, I mean, until the flood happened, you know, people lived for 4 trillion years, and we had perfect genes. I heard that apologetic once. Well, it could be this. I mean, I know it's inspired by God, but, you know, people still, if it's spoken word, if it's an oral tradition, they're still speaking down. They may not...
Right.
You know, well, this God... Because, you know, a lot of the guys had the same kind of names.
Yeah.
Or not gods, but, what am I trying to say? Like rulers and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my thought. I could be wrong.
Who the hell knows?
Yeah, exactly. No, there's some scholar out there. Bart Ehrman probably knows.
He might. O Lord, who bearest rule, thou spakest... Yeah, that's right. Thou spakest at the beginning, when thou didst plant the earth, and that thyself alone, and commandedst the people, and gavest a body unto Adam without soul, which was the workmanship of thine hands, and didst breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before thee. And thou leadest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted, before ever the earth came forward.
So now this is the third version of of man's being born?
At least the third version. And how the fuck do you have the Garden of Eden, which is, you know, placed near a couple of rivers on the earth before the earth has even been created?
Dude, it's God. I mean, that's all it takes. It's God. You have to take a rainbow bridge over there to get to it. And, oh wait, that's...
Yeah.
Sorry. That's Asgard. My bad. And unto him thou gavest commandments to love thy way. See, that's no. Right there. That doesn't make any fucking sense. There was no one else to love thy way. It was just the fucking animals which you ate and fucked, and then there was the tree you shouldn't eat from.
Yeah.
See, he gave him you lead us... Wait. And you gave him the gravest commandments to love thy way, which he transgressed. Immediately thou appointest death in him and his generations, of whom came nations, tribes, people, and kindreds out of number. So this is saying that he is the original and only man. Right. And all the kids came out of him. So out of a guy and a girl, which, you know, they had the 2 sons, and then they ended up having Seth and I think a girl after that. No, there's no girl?
No girl.
So it's just Cain, Abel, and Seth. Right?
Right. Because Cain took a woman from another country. Where she came from, nobody knows. Where that country came from, nobody knows. You know, there's unofficial traditions that they had daughters. But, you know, I mean, women were just incubators at this point in time, so...
It's Lilith. Lilith said, fuck you. She got knocked up. She got the fuck out of Dodge. They didn't have Planned Parenthood. So she kind of just had to have a kid.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. Got one line left.
Oh, yeah. I'm walking to it, bro. Calm down. And every people walked after their own will and did wonderful things before thee and despised thy commandments. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
And again, in process of time, thou broughtest the flood upon those that dwelt in the world and destroyedst them.
That was my line.
No, because I started on 7. That was my line.
Yeah, you're right.
Whatever.
Whatevs.
So this is post-flood, obviously.
Yeah. And it came to pass, drink, and a nod to David Michaels' podcast, in every of them, that as death was to Adam, so was the flood to these. What the fuck does that mean?
Since death came to Adam, they had to die also. Because Adam was initially immortal until he sinned.
Yeah.
So now that death came to... as the death was to Adam, so was the flood. So he killed all these people. That's how I'm reading this. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that makes some sense. So we'll go with that one. Nevertheless... God, every time I hear that, all I can think of is the Book of Mormon. One of them thou leftest, namely Noah, with his household, of whom came all righteous men. So where did the unrighteous men come from? And it happened that when they dwelt upon the earth began to multiply, and had gotten many children, and were a great people, they began again to be more ungodly than the first.
So the moral of this story is don't have a bunch of fucking kids and quit inbreeding, and the less people there are, the less sin there's going to be. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense, actually. Because the more people you have, the less jobs you have, and the more crime you have. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Your turn?
Oh, it is. Now when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from among them, whose name was Abraham. Him thou lovedst, and unto him only thou shrewdst thy will. God damn, I hate this. And madest an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that thou would never forsake his seed. Because it's so delicious.
But, just above this, God is saying, fuck you people. Yeah.
Well, he's got a do-over now, so he wiped them all out. So now he's on the do-over, and he's like, Abraham seems cool. Let's, whatever he squirts out, we're gonna like that.
And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, and put by Esau, and so Jacob became a great multitude.
That makes... What the fuck?
And it came to pass, drink, that when thou leadest his seed out of Egypt, thou broughtest them up to the Mount Sinai. Man, that's...
They're good swimmers right there.
Yeah, Michael Phelps.
No shit. I just got lost when I took my glasses off to scratch my eye. Oh, there we are. And bowing the heavens, thou didst set fast the earth, movest the whole world, and madest the depths tremble, and troublest the men of that age. God damn, I hate these words.
I know.
And thy glory went through 4 gates of fire, and of earthquake, and of wind, and of cold. Avatar.
Yeah.
So basically this is the Avatar character, the airbender.
Yeah.
That thou mightest give the law unto the seed of Jacob, and diligence unto the generation of Israel.
So now I'm just picturing somebody talking to a spooge sock.
You're awfully stiff. And yet tookest not away from them a wicked heart, that thy law might bring forth fruit in them. That thy law might bring... What? This thing reads like VCR instructions.
For the first Adam, bearing a wicked heart, transgressed, and was overcome, and so be all they that are born of him.
So what he's saying, we're all shitty. So then, that's my problem with the whole flood concept. God creates man, allegedly, knows what's going to happen, allegedly, kills us all, and we'll try it again, but we won't change anything. We won't change the structure of humanity. We'll just do it again. We'll just see. Let's roll the dice, see what happens.
Yeah, well, and it's like you're God. You can create the universe in a couple of days. Why not just snap your fingers and vanish all the humanity you don't like? Why go to the trouble of flooding the entire planet?
The mysterious ways. That's all I'm saying. Mysterious ways.
Thus infirmity was made permanent, and the law also in the heart of the people with the malignity of the root, so that the good departed away and the evil abode still. So, fuck it doesn't matter. You can do all the good you want. It's gonna disappear, and there's just gonna be evil. Man.
Perfect creation you made there, God.
Yeah, it really reminds me of that cartoon with God pulling the earth out of the oven and going, something tells me this thing's only half baked.
Nice.
So the times passed away, and the years were brought to an end. Then didst thou raise thee up a servant called David. Oh, so we're getting a whole recap of the fucking Bible.
Sweet. Whom thou commandest to build a city unto thy name, and to offer incense and oblations unto thee therein. When this was done many years ago, then they that inhabited the city forsook thee. Jesus Christ, who wrote this shit? See, this is that King James Version Old English bullshit.
Yeah.
And in all things did even as Adam and all his generations had done, for they also had a wicked heart. Adam didn't have a wicked heart. Adam didn't have anything. He had no knowledge of anything. Oh, that's fucking bullshit, dude.
Yeah. And so thou gavest thy city over into the hands of thine enemies. Are their deeds then any better that inhabit Babylon, that they should therefore have the dominion over Sion? For when I came thither and had seen impieties without number, then my soul saw... So God has a soul.
He's got an asshole.
Yeah. Then my soul saw many evildoers in this 30th year, so that my heart failed me. Oh, I guess it was Esdras talking.
So he had a heart attack.
Looks like it.
For I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning, and hast spared wicked doers, and hast destroyed thy people, and hast preserved thine enemies, and hast not signified it. I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than they of Sion? Or is there any other people that knoweth thee besides Israel? Or what generation hath so believed thy covenants as Yaakov?
Boy, that that leaves an opening for Mormonism.
Of course it does. If you can find a hole, stick it in there.
Yeah.
that was almost the Eli Wozniak story, but I.
And yet, what?
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, say if you're gonna say something, if you can find a loophole and then put your thing in, there's no way to do that not sounding dirty.
Yeah.
But that kind of, by that loophole being there, you can kind of give your thing some kind of like your religion some kind of legitimacy, I guess, by saying, well, yeah, I mean, look, it fits right here.
And yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor hath no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth, and think not upon thy commandments. Weigh thou, therefore, our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell the world, and so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel. Or was it when that they... Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
Bullshit. That is 100% bullshit.
and it totally contradicts everything that was said before.
Exactly. It totally fucking does. No, that makes perfect sense. I mean, you just told us that we broke all your laws and shit, but we're the only ones that actually kept your laws. So that's cool.
Yeah. Well, we've been doing this for about an hour, so you want to just wrap this up and then...
Are you a little sore now? Sorry.
No.
More loop.
But
more loop.
It'll give me... I mean, I'm sure you got shit you got to do today, and it'll give me a chance to do the wrapper around this.
Oh, sweet. Which wrapper are you going to use?
I have no idea yet.
Wrapper? I just met her. It never gets old to me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, have a lovely day, sir. It's been fun.
You too, and we will do this again soon at some point.
We should. We should never read this fucking thing again, ever.
Well, I mean, it's an eye-opener.
It definitely is. I mean, I can see why they didn't include it in shit.
Yeah. And this is actually the more coherent of the ones that I've read so far.
So scary.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Because the others are just like, they just keep repeating over and over, okay, God did this, and this king of Babylon let the Jews go. And then you get that same story like 3 times, and then you get, well, the next king, God moved his heart, and he let all the people go. And then, that's repeated like 3 times, and then you get the third king. It's like, what the fuck? And of course, in all that, you get all the, the details of every mundane person who marches along, their entire family biography.
I begat.
Well, they don't use begat. They just son of.
Yeah, but that's the, whatever translation, King James Version.
Yeah.
Well, that was super fun.
Well, I appreciate it, and...
You're welcome, buddy.
Yeah, so...
Check out my podcast, Unbuckling the Bible Belt, which I haven't been on for a couple of weeks. But the other people are doing a great job, so... Yeah, well, you've got an excuse. You got a new kid. It's not, the kid's not really the problem. It's the fact that I got bumped to third shift, and so I sleep from like 2 to 9 before I have to go into work. And that's when we record on Sundays, so... Well. But kids are the worst. Don't ever... Just, if you like sleep and having sex whenever you want, all that good stuff, don't ever have a child. Just saying. Just a heads up, kids. That's so mean. Kid's cool, I guess. All right. Well, thanks, Doc. I'll talk to you later, buddy.
All right. Have a good one.
You too, man. Bye.
Bye.
That's it for this episode of The Atheist in the Trailer Park Podcast. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, as well as just about anywhere else podcasts can be found. Many of the episodes are also on YouTube. Follow the show on Twitter. @TParkAtheist is the show's Twitter handle. It's on Facebook at facebook.com/trailerparkatheist.com. If you happen to like the podcast, please rate it on iTunes. If you'd like to support the podcast, there's a donate button on the show notes page. You can support it via Patreon at patreon.com/TNTucker. Thanks for listening.
Say goodnight, Fosnots.
All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
Damned cat.